Hi there and welcome, it's Jennifer McGuire. Today I have a fun technique video showing how to create glitter inlay die cuts. But before I get started, I wanted to give you a quick update. A lot of people have been asking why I haven't been doing as many videos lately. Well, life threw me a really hard curveball and it knocked me off my feet for several weeks, and I'm just trying to get back into the swing of things, so please be patient with me. I promise we'll be normal again very soon. And we also recently launched a brand new online card classes website, so it's updated and all your classes are together in one place. And we had our newest class called Clear and Sheer, which it's not too late to join. If you're interested, I'll link to that below. But I promise I'll be back into the swing of things soon. In the meantime, I have this video for you today showing how to create these glitter ombre backgrounds and do some die cut inlay. Lots of tips for you. If you don't have the products I'm talking about, just stay tuned because I'm going to mention other ways you can do this technique and get similar results. I also have a little bonus project at the end of this video using the same products. For these projects, I'm using Hero Art's newest My Monthly Hero card kit. So this is a card kit that they come out with every month. It's different. You don't subscribe, you just purchase any month that you're interested in. This month comes with all the things that you see here. And then they also have some add-on things like the stamp set that you see on the left. So both of these stamp sets include things that are great for decorating your envelopes and cards and messages of kindness. This kit was inspired by my Share Handmade Kindness challenge that I did a few months ago. And so there's lots of great things in here to pass on kindness. There's also this die that creates a fold-up envelope. I'll show you a project using that at the end of this video. The kit also includes some beautiful papers. I wanted to show you this vellum that has glitter in it. I think it's beautiful. There's also some teal colored or pool colored vellum that I am just over the moon about. I'm saving that for another project, and some green and blue cardstock. And there are some other embellishments that you'll see later on in this kit. Now there's also another add-on that you can get for this, and that is the thank you die that matches the thank you stamp set that comes in the kit. So I encourage you to check out this kit. I think it's a really good one, very useful, and it can get a long life out of these stamps and dies. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I have a piece of double-sided tape here, and I'm putting some white cardstock onto it. This white cardstock is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm going to cut it in half in a moment. But I'm covering one side completely with Be Creative double-sided tape. Any double-sided tape would work here. This is by far my favorite. And I'm just trimming any of that extra double-sided tape off so I can use it on a different project. The trimmer I'm using here is the Tim Holtz trimmer. This is a newer one, and right now this is my current favorite. It's smaller, but it cuts like butter, and I have really had a lot of success with it. So if you've been looking for a trimmer, this is a good one to consider. Okay, so I went ahead and cut those both in half, so I have pieces that are 5 1/2 by a little bit wider than 2 inches, and one side is completely covered with that double-sided tape. So now it's time to add some glitter. So I remove that release paper, so now I have white cardstock with a double-sided tape showing there. And I'm shaking on some clear glitter. This is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. This is the warm diamond. There's also cool diamond. Both are beautiful, clear, kind of iridescent glitters. You want to use a bone folder to really rub that in, and you'll see that the shine just really pops. Then when you want to wipe it off, all the extra glitter, just use a Swiffer cloth. It cleans up all the glitter and there's absolutely no mess then. So you can see here I have a clean finger and I'm just going to rub it on there and you'll see no glitter comes off. You just want to make sure that you really burnish that glitter into that double-sided tape so it doesn't come off. Okay, so now I'm going to add some color to it. I'll tell you another way to do this a little bit later if you don't have Copics. So now I'm coloring right under the glitter with my Copic markers. Any permanent marker would work for this. I'm starting with like a dark blue, and you'll notice I have 3 colors that don't easily blend together if you were doing this on paper. But the great thing about doing this on glitter is that when you overlap the colors, they blend really easily. It just blends perfectly. So you see I'm overlapping like a teal color with it, and it just blends, and I'm just going back and forth. Now, I haven't had any problems with damaging the tip of my Copic markers. These are pretty durable tips. If any glitter does come off on the marker tip, I just wipe it off. Now, I don't know if you did this a million times, if it would damage the tip of your markers, but I don't do this technique all that often, so I'm not concerned by it. And it looked like it held up just fine. Okay, I wanted to do another example. This one I'm doing like pinks to oranges to yellows. And every time I'm making sure to overlap that color. Now, if you don't have Copic markers or any other permanent marker, you can try other markers and see if they work, Or what you can do is instead of starting with white cardstock, you can put blended ink onto the white cardstock. So you have colorful cardstock, then put the double-sided tape on top and then add the glitter. The glitter will mute down that color a little bit, so you want to start with brighter colors since you're putting the color behind the glitter. But that's another option if you don't have the Copic markers. Now the Copic stays wet for a bit on this glitter, not too long, so you want to make sure not to touch it as you're creating. You want to make sure that it dries so you don't get little fingerprints all over it. So the glitter that I'm working with today, this Elizabeth Craft Designs that I really like, is a super, super fine glitter. So it almost becomes velvety when it's done, and it really takes the color nicely. You can try any glitters you have, but I really recommend a super fine glitter. If you don't have any glitters, you can instead put the color on the cardstock, cover the cardstock with Versamark ink, and then add like an iridescent embossing powder and heat set that. And you can get kind of the look of a colorful glitter paper like we're doing here today. This is a lot more shiny than if you use embossing powder. It's absolutely beautiful, and you can see the colors blended very easily. Okay, so now that we have our glitter background strips, we can go ahead and do our thank you. And I decided to do that with a glitter too, with a black glitter paper. So I'm going to create that glitter paper here. If you already have black glitter paper, you could use that. I'm starting with some black cardstock, and I'm putting that same double-sided tape onto one side of it. Now, by the way, if you have other double-sided tapes, I'd give it a try, but this one is super strong and that glitter really presses into it. Okay, so now I'm shaking on that same clear glitter, and you'll see it's very white at first, but when you go to burnish it in and really press it in, you'll see that color start to pop. Now you'll also notice that that glitter is muting down that black cardstock in the back. So I'm just taking a black Copic marker, you could use a Sharpie here if you want to, and scribbling over it to make it darker. If you had black glitter, you could just use that too. So I went ahead and die cut that thank you die from that black glitter paper, and I'm going to set that aside. But now I need to create the area to inlay this. So I'm going to die cut thank you from that blue glitter paper also. Just stay with me, it'll make sense in a moment. So I'm first using my anti-static powder tool to cover the inside of this die. This will prevent that glitter paper that we created from sticking inside to the die and makes it easier to come out. Remember, we're die cutting through glitter and some double-sided tape, so it may want to stick. So that using that anti-static powder tool prevents it from wanting to stick much. So now I'm just going to kind of pull these pieces out and have them ready to go. We're actually only using the negative pieces of this. Okay, so this is a piece of white craft foam because I want to pop all this up, and I have cut it to a little bit smaller than 5.5 by 2, which is the size of our panel here. And I'm going to cover one side of it with that double-sided tape once again. By the way, if you don't have double-sided tape sheets like this, you could just use double-sided tape roll, like any width you have, and just line them up row by row next to each other and use that to cover a background instead. So now I have some white craft foam that has a little dimension, and there's double-sided tape on one side of it. Now I want to put something on the back of that too so it sticks to our card, but I don't need a whole piece of double-sided tape to cover that entire back. So I have the same tape but in a narrow form here. I'm just putting 3 strips down that, and I'm going to glue this onto a top folding 4¼ by 5.5 inch note card. So basically this is going to make everything that we put down on top of it pop, and it'll go through the mail nicely. So now I have removed the release paper, so the sticky side on that craft foam is showing and it's face up. And I'm putting that glitter background down. So I'm just doing the top piece first. Now I'm taking that black glitter thank you and putting it right into its place. This is fun because it's like a puzzle that you're putting together, and you can just pop it right in. It really doesn't take much thinking. It just kind of slides into place. And since we're putting this onto a sticky surface, I'm using a craft pick to kind of push it into place. And I put everything down lightly at first until I'm sure it's where it needs to be, and then I press it down firmly into that double-sided tape. So now I'm just going to go ahead and fit the rest of the pieces in. They just go together like a puzzle. And I can go ahead and add this middle piece in, and then add the black thank you, put the piece on the bottom, and then start filling in all the little areas in between. Now, this takes a little bit of time, not too long. I think it's definitely worth the effort to get that inlaid look. It's smooth, that thank you fits into the background. But if you want to save time, you could just go ahead and skip the inlaying and just glue that thank you die cut on top of the background. But check out the results here. You get this beautiful glitter background, very smooth results, and you really only used one color of glitter on all of that. Okay, so I wanted to add a little bit of shine on top of that. I probably should have skipped this and just left it as is, but I decided I wanted to really intensify that black glitter on those thank yous. So I just went and I used my glossy accents with the fine tip nozzle and covered the word thank you with glossy accents to make it shiny. I left the rainbow one without the glossy accents, so this is just an option if you want that little bit of shine. I think it probably looked best without the glossy accents, but this does draw attention to the sentiment. I also wanted to show you how I decorated the inside of my cards and the envelopes using the stamp sets from this month's My Monthly Hero. So here is a stamp set on the left that comes with it, and the stamp set on the right you can buy as an add-on. And I used the stamp set that comes in the kit to create the sentiment inside that matches the outside. There are a lot of great sentiments here to build up. There's you are a great coach, you're a great teacher, you are a blessing. Lots of different ways you can mix and match to create different sentiments. For the envelope, I used the other stamp set. I white heat embossed the thank you on the back and then the please deliver to on the front. It's just a fun way to make the envelope a little more snazzy. Now for the rainbow one, I also put the you are a blessing on the inside of the card. But remember, there's lots of different sentiments there. That happens to be my favorite. And then for the envelope, I just stamped hugs enclosed on the flap of it. And then I did the special delivery right above where I'll add the address of the person I'm sending this to. For the last card, I stamped your kindness means so much to me on the inside, and I kind of went to town on the envelope. On the back flap, I put happy mail, and on the front, I just stamped a variety of things from those two stamp sets, just to decorate it up a bit. Before I go, I wanted to show you one other project I made using this kit. I used that envelope die that I showed you, and I did some die cut inlay into a heart on the front of it. So this is the die that the envelope die that comes in the kit. All you have to do is die cut it from cardstock, and you can fold it up. It does the score lines and even the little slit. This would be perfect for little lunchbox note cards or just little notes to leave people. I did a die cut inlay technique with just regular cardstock here and a heart, and I put some gems on it. I'm going to give this to my son's teacher. Now I stamped the hugs enclosed on the back flap. Remember, this die cuts all you need to do this. It's one of the simplest envelope dies I've ever seen. I really like it. And check this out. I used some temporary adhesive to put a gift card on the inside. I stamped You Are the Best on the top there, and I can write a message down here on the bottom. This is perfect to go hold a gift card, a quick note, a little picture, anything you want. I really like this envelope die because it's simple. You don't need adhesive to close it up. It's wonderful. So I wanted to show you that quick project also using the My Monthly Hero Arts Kit. So that wraps up today's video. If you're interested in the supplies I use, I link them below in my YouTube description, or you can click here on my logo on the top left. That'll take you to my blog with much more information, including a giveaway. In the middle are 3 other videos you might like. The first one shows glitter die cuts. The second one shows creating a glitter background. And the third one shares tips for doing die cut inlay. Thanks for watching and being patient with me, and I'll be back soon, I promise.